I pushed through the crowded room, my hands sticky from the plastic cup I couldn't put down. And there she was, Elina. I almost didn't recognize her in the dim light's long hair that shimmered red in the lamp, eyes that seemed to catch everything at once. My chest tightened. I blurted before thinking. She turned, smiled, and my stomach dropped. "Hi. You're Jason's friend, right?" Her voice was warm, teasing, like sunlight cutting through a foggy morning. "Yeah, I stopped. My name felt small. I'm Daniel, Elina." She extended her hand, and when I shook it, her fingers lingered just a second too long. I swallowed hard. Jason appeared beside me, leaning casually against the wall. "Careful, man, she's..." "Something else?" I laughed nervously. "She's nice." "Nice." Jason raised an eyebrow. "Or dangerously charming." I waved him off. "You're paranoid." Elina tilted her head, studying me. "You two know each other well." "Yeah, we've known each other since college," I said, trying to sound casual. "I see." She smiled again, and I swear it flickered with something I couldn't name. "Do you come to parties like this often?" "Not really. I mostly keep to myself." My voice sounded smaller than I wanted. "Ah," she said, stepping closer. "A mystery. I like mysteries." Jason's voice cut through my thoughts. "He's not that mysterious, really. Trust me." Elina laughed, soft and airy. "Well, maybe I like discovering things slowly." My stomach did a flip. "I'd like that too," I said before I could stop myself. Jason gave me a look that said, "Are you insane?" "So, what do you do?" Elina asked, leaning against the table. "I work in marketing. Freelance writer, mostly travel and lifestyle stuff." "It's fun." She tilted her head again. "I bet you never thought you'd meet a writer at a random party, huh?" "Not really," I admitted, feeling stupid and thrilled all at once. Jason tugged my sleeve. "Don't get lost in the fantasy already." "I'm fine," I muttered, but Elina's smile distracted me. She scribbled something on a napkin and handed it to me. "Here's my number. Text me. I promise I'm worth it." I stared at it for a moment. Yeah, sure, I'll text." Her eyes sparkled. "Good. I like men who can follow instructions." Jason groaned. "Man, just don't get played." I ignored him, shoving the napkin into my pocket. "Why would I get played?" "Elina's a lot of things," Jason said, "but straightforward isn't one of them." She tilted her head, as if reading my thoughts. "Jason, you always think the worst of people. Isn't it exhausting?" I laughed nervously, unsure if I should side with him or her. "Maybe." She leaned closer, her voice dropping. "I think you might like surprises, Daniel." "Am I wrong?" "No," I admitted. "You're right," she smiled, perfectly, dangerously. "Good. That's all I need to know." Jason muttered something under his breath about bad idea and wandered off. I watched him go, then turned back to her. "So, shall we dance?" I asked, heart racing. She laughed, a low, sweet sound that made me forget to breathe. "I thought you'd never ask." As we moved toward the small cleared space in the corner, I told myself I wasn't overthinking. That maybe, just maybe, this was real. But a tiny voice in the back of my head whispered caution. I shoved it away. Tonight, I was alive. Tonight, I had Elina. My phone buzzed for the third time that night. I glanced at the screen. "Elina, can you stay up? I need to tell you something." I typed back quickly. "Yeah, I'm here." Moments later, a message came. "I don't usually share this. But, I feel safe with you." I smiled, heart racing. "Safe with me?" I muttered to myself. I texted back, "You can trust me." Her reply was almost instant. "Promise." "Of course," I typed, not even thinking. Jason leaned over my desk the next morning. "You look like a zombie." "Just tired," I mumbled, hiding my phone. Sure. You're texting her all night, aren't you?" I froze. "Maybe. Careful, man. She's fun, but I don't think she's..." "What you think?" "I'm not paranoid," I said, though my stomach twisted at his words. "Maybe not," he shrugged. But trust me, keep your eyes open. Later, Mia stopped by my cubicle with a smile. Hey Daniel. You seem distracted today. Just tired, I repeated, hoping she wouldn't pry. Mia tilted her head. You're smiling at your phone again, aren't you? I groaned. Maybe. Be careful. People like that can be tricky, she warned, gently. Thanks, Mia, I said. I shoved the warnings away, thinking she didn't know Elina like I did that night. Elina texted, Do you ever wonder if people really mean what they say? I typed back, Sometimes, why? Her reply made my chest tighten, because some people lie, even to the ones who care the most. Lying, I muttered aloud. What does that mean? I typed slowly, Are you talking about me? No, not you. Maybe just someone I thought I could trust. I frowned. That's odd, I whispered to myself. The next day, I noticed something. She had told me her weekend was full of writing deadlines, but Jason mentioned seeing her at a cafe. Alone, smiling at someone? My stomach sank. I confronted her over text. Hey, saw you at the cafe? Didn't you say you were working all weekend? Her reply came quick, playful. Oh, that. Just needed a break. Don't be jealous. I stared at the screen. Jealous, I muttered. My heart ached, but I forced a smile. Not jealous, just curious. Good curiosity is cute on you, she teased. I laughed nervously. Cute, right? The next night, we stayed up texting again. I like talking to you. You're different, she wrote. I typed back. I feel the same. You're amazing, she responded almost immediately. I knew we'd click. I feel like I can tell you anything, anything. I whispered to myself, even secrets. Even secrets, she typed, sending a winking emoji. I hesitated, then typed, okay. I trust you. We spent hours like that, sharing stories, confessions, silly jokes. But something nagged at me. Little inconsistencies. She said she lived alone, yet sometimes I saw her online, talking to friends I didn't know. She mentioned family drama, but details didn't match what I'd learned accidentally. Jason noticed my distraction again. You look wrapped up in her. I mean, you are, aren't you? Maybe, I admitted. Be careful, he warned. People like that, they don't always care the way you do. I know, I said quickly. But deep down, I wanted to believe her, more than I wanted to believe anything else. One night, I asked, What if I told you I care about you a lot? She laughed softly through the message. Careful, Daniel. That's dangerous. Dangerous, I muttered aloud. My hands shook. Why dangerous? Because feelings can hurt. But I think it's worth it, she wrote. I smiled, heart pounding. Worth it, I whispered. Yeah, it's worth it. Despite the small doubts, I kept ignoring them. Her laughter, her teasing, her tiny reassurances, they felt real. They felt like love. And I wanted love more than truth. I wasn't supposed to be there. I was just walking past the cafe near her apartment when I heard laughter. That familiar, high, teasing tone. Elina. I froze. And then I saw her, surrounded by a small group of people I didn't know, talking about me. About me? What a joke, she said, smirking. Did you see how he acted at the party? Pathetic. My stomach dropped. I couldn't breathe. Yeah, another voice laughed. He's so wrapped up in you, he's like a puppy. I felt my hands shake. No, it can't be, I whispered to myself. I edged closer, and my heart sank. She was telling every detail, my hopes. The late-night messages. The things I'd shared in confidence. You really think he'll notice if I exaggerate a little? She said. I couldn't take it. I stormed in. Elina? My voice cracked, echoing across the small cafe. She looked up, surprised, then smiled faintly. Daniel, fancy seeing you here. Exaggerate. You told them everything I trusted you with. I shouted, the words tearing out of me. Oh, she said, tilting her head, calm as ever. You mean, our little chats? Yes. You said you trusted me. You said I could trust you. I stepped closer, shaking. She shrugged, as if it were nothing. I didn't lie, Daniel. I just talked. Isn't that what friends do? Friends, I echoed, disbelief burning in my chest. You called me your person. You made me feel safe. And this is what you do. She laughed softly. I'm sorry you feel that way, really, but I can't stop people from laughing. I felt my knees weaken. You're not even apologizing. Not really, no, she said, leaning back casually. Because I don't think I did anything wrong. You were too emotional. It was entertaining. I couldn't speak. My throat burned. My hands felt heavy, useless. My world, the one I had built around her, collapsed in that instant. Jason appeared behind me, voice sharp. Daniel, come on. Don't let her. Don't tell me what to do. I snapped, too raw to care. She betrayed me. Jason stopped, unsure what to say. Mia's gentle voice reached me too. Daniel, it's okay. You're okay. I shook my head violently. No. I'm not okay. She used me. Elina leaned forward, smile calm, eyes cold. Used you, Daniel. Don't be dramatic. You overthink everything. I laughed bitterly, a sound I didn't recognize. You mocked me. You shared everything. Behind my back. And you call me dramatic? She shrugged again. Words are funny things. People interpret them differently. Isn't that right? Right. I whispered to myself. Everything blurred. I wanted to hit something, scream, cry, but nothing could fix this. Jason grabbed my shoulder. Hey, breathe, man. It's okay. You're not alone. I pushed him away. I don't want anyone. My voice cracked. I just want her gone. Mia stepped closer, concern in her eyes. Daniel, let us help you. You don't have to carry this alone. I said I don't want anyone. I shouted. I felt tears burn my eyes, but I blinked them back. I couldn't let them see me like this. Weak, shattered. Elina watched quietly, calm, almost satisfied. You're sensitive. Maybe too sensitive for me. But don't take it personally, really. Too sensitive, I whispered, my hands trembling. You destroyed my trust. And I'm too sensitive. She shrugged, leaning back in her chair. Perspective matters, Daniel. You'll see that someday, or maybe not. It doesn't change the truth. I wanted to scream at her, to make her feel something, but nothing came. My heart felt hollow. Jason tried again, softer this time. Daniel, come on. Let's step outside. I shook my head. No, leave me. I don't want anyone, just let me process this. Mia hesitated. Okay, but we're here when you need us. I nodded weakly, unable to look at anyone. My chest felt like it would collapse. My stomach twisted. Everything I believed in, every moment I had trusted her, burned in front of me. Elina leaned back, sipping her coffee, utterly unaffected. Take care of yourself, Daniel. I really do hope you learn to handle feelings better. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My world had shattered. I left the cafe, head down, trying to swallow the humiliation and heartbreak. The streetlights blurred as tears finally fell. I couldn't trust anyone anymore, not her, not myself, not even the people who cared. I walked alone, numb, wishing the ground would swallow me. I barely left my apartment for days. Every time my phone buzzed, I flinched. Every memory of her, every laugh, every text, crawled under my skin and made me ache. Jason called. Daniel, you okay? I'm fine, I muttered, voice tight. You don't sound fine. I said, I'm fine. Stop worrying, you can't hide from me. Or Mia. I'm not hiding, I said quickly, forcing the words out. I just need space. Mia texted me too. We miss you. Can we come over? No, I replied, swallowing hard. I didn't want to explain. Didn't want to relive it. That night, I stared at my journal, pen in hand. Where do I even start? I muttered. My hand hovered, trembling. Finally, I wrote, she lied. She mocked me. I trusted her. The pen scratched across the page. I couldn't stop. I gave her everything I had, and she didn't care. I feel hollow. I slammed the notebook shut. My chest ached. A soft knock sounded on my door. Daniel. A voice called. I groaned. Go away, it's me, Mr. Reynolds, can I come in? I hesitated, then sighed. Yeah. I guess. He stepped inside, hands clasped behind his back. I've noticed you've been distant. I'm fine, I said quickly, avoiding his eyes. Are you? He tilted his head, wise eyes studying me. It's okay to admit you're hurting, Daniel. I don't want to talk about it, I said. Voice barely above a whisper. You don't have to tell me everything, he said calmly. But you can't ignore it either. Bottling it up will only make it worse. I sank onto the couch. I trusted her. I trusted someone, and she destroyed that. Mr. Reynolds nodded slowly. I see. And that pain is real. But pain doesn't have to control you. I feel powerless, I admitted. I don't know how to stop thinking about her. He pulled up a chair. Daniel, emotional strength isn't about never feeling. It's about learning to manage your feelings, to let them guide you, not destroy you. Manage feelings. I muttered, testing the words. Yes, learn from what happened. Not to punish yourself, but to protect yourself. You've been naive because you wanted to trust. There's nothing wrong with that. But now, it's time to be careful. I don't want anyone to hurt me like that again. Good. That's the first step. Decide for yourself what you will accept and what you won't. Your boundaries are yours to set. I stared at him, the words settling into my chest like small sparks. Boundaries. I whispered. I've never really had them before. It's not too late, he said kindly. You can start now. Write it down if you need. Plan, reflect, then act. I nodded slowly, feeling some weight lift. I guess I need to think about what I want. What I won't allow anymore. Exactly, he said. Pain teaches lessons if you're willing to listen. And you're listening now. Later, alone in my apartment, I reopened my journal. I wrote slowly, deliberately. I will not allow anyone to hurt me like that again. I will be careful. I will trust wisely. I read the words aloud. I will not allow anyone to hurt me. My voice shook, but there was a strange relief in saying it. The night was quiet, except for the hum of the city outside my window. For the first time in days, I felt focused. Not free of the pain, but ready to face it. I wrote more. I can't control her. I can't undo what happened. But I can control me. I can learn. I can grow. I paused, pen hovering. I will grow, I whispered. More to myself than anyone else. The memories of Elina still stung. Every laugh, every lie, every betrayal lingered. But instead of twisting me inward, they sparked determination. I would not be naive forever. I would not allow my heart to be toyed with again. Mr. Reynolds had been right. Pain could guide me. And I was ready to let it. For the first time in a long while, I closed the journal with a small, firm exhale. I'll be stronger, I said quietly. I have to be. I wasn't planning to go to the cafe that afternoon, but something pulled me in. Maybe curiosity, maybe anger. And there she was, Elina, sitting at a corner table with someone I didn't know, laughing like she hadn't destroyed my world. I gritted my teeth. Unbelievable, I muttered under my breath. Jason, walking beside me, glanced over. You're okay? No, I snapped. My hands balling into fists. She's there. With him, laughing, like I never existed. Jason sighed. Don't let her see you like this. She thrives on it. I looked down, swallowing the lump in my throat. I won't, but I can't. Not feel this good, he said, voice firm. Use it? Not for her. For you. I clenched my jaw. For me? I whispered. I walked past the cafe slowly, forcing myself to breathe, to stay calm. That night, I texted Liam, my coworker. Hey, you free tomorrow? Could use some advice? Sure, coffee at mine. 10 a.m. He replied almost instantly. The next morning, we sat across from each other. I spilled my thoughts, hesitant at first. I don't know how to move forward. I feel humiliated, angry. I don't even know who I am without her. Liam nodded, patient. That's normal. But focusing on her won't fix you. You have to focus on yourself. Career, health, skills. Make yourself stronger. That's the only comeback that matters. I frowned. Stronger? Yeah. But how? Start small. Goals you can actually hit. Then bigger ones. The more you invest in yourself, the less power she has over your mind. I chewed on that. So, I don't need revenge. Not directly. Revenge is temporary. Change yourself, and it lasts. I stared at my coffee, feeling something shift. Okay, I'll try. I need to focus. At work, I started showing up early. Liam checked on me periodically. You look different. Focused.com, I smiled faintly. I've decided to take back control. No distractions. No emotional wreckage. Mia noticed too. Daniel, careful. Don't let this turn into obsession. Growth, yes. Revenge, no. I know, I said quickly, hiding the way her words stirred the embers of anger inside me. It's about me, not her. Jason stopped by later. I see it. You're sharper. Your energy's different. Yeah, I admitted. I realized I've been giving her my emotions for too long. Time to reclaim them. Good, he said with a grin. Don't let her win. You're better than that. At home, I dusted off my gym bag. Time to do this, I muttered. Lifting weights I hadn't touched in months. My muscles burned, but it felt good, controlled, powerful. The next day, I started setting small goals at work. Meetings I wanted to lead, presentations I'd practice. Liam checked in again. You're on fire today. Keep it up. I smiled. Thanks. I've decided I won't let past mistakes define me. Late that night, alone, I stared at my phone. No messages from her. Good, my chest still tightened at the thought of her, but it wasn't panic anymore. It was motivation. I texted Jason. I think I'm ready. For work, life, everything. Finally. About time, he replied with a laughing emoji. Mia called. Don't forget balance, Daniel. Focus, yes. Obsession, no. Promise me. I promise, I said, but a small smile tugged at my lips. The hunger for control over my own life was stronger than the desire to confront her. I started noticing things I'd ignored before sleeping better. Thinking clearly, laughing without guilt, at lunch. Liam mentioned, you seem lighter, happier, more in control. I feel more me, I admitted. It's like I finally get to decide who I am. Not her. He grinned. Exactly. That's your real victory. That night, I wrote in my journal, I will no longer be a puppet to her whims. I will grow stronger. I will reclaim my life. I closed the notebook with a firm exhale. My heart still carried anger, yes, but it was tempered with clarity. I wasn't plotting revenge. I was plotting my comeback, the one that mattered, me, as I stretched on the floor. Muscles sore and body awake, I whispered aloud, I'm done being weak. I'm done letting her define me. It's my turn now. For the first time in months, I felt a quiet fire burning inside me, not for her, but for myself. I was at my favorite cafe, sipping black coffee and scrolling through my emails, when I heard the laughter. It wasn't hers, Elina's, but a group near the corner was gossiping, and I caught her name. Did you hear what she said about Daniel? A girl whispered. She totally exaggerated everything, another replied. No wonder people are backing off. Can't trust her on anything. I froze, chest tight, but strangely. Calm. Jason nudged me. See that? Small karma, man. People are noticing. I shook my head. I don't feel like celebrating. I just notice, you're sure? He asked, eyebrows raised. I'm sure, I said, taking a sip. It's not about her. It's about me noticing reality. That night, Liam messaged me. Hey, coffee tomorrow. I have some exciting work stuff to discuss. Sure, I typed back. The next morning, Mia called. Daniel, you actually sound lighter, happier. What's going on? I'm noticing things, I said slowly. Seeing what I couldn't before. People respond to actions. Truth shows itself eventually. You sound philosophical, she said, teasing, but I caught the concern in her voice. Maybe I am, I replied. Maybe I'm just tired of carrying unnecessary weight. At work, Liam nudged me as we walked past the conference room. Heard anything what? I asked. Elina missed another deadline. Her project got reassigned. People are questioning her reliability. Small things, but noticeable. I frowned, trying not to smirk. I see, I muttered, though satisfaction had no place here. It was just acknowledgement. Don't let it get to your head, Liam said. Focus on your work. That's where you shine. I am, I said, feeling a calm certainty for the first time in weeks. Jason stopped by later. You've been reconnecting with people, huh? Lunches, calls. I have, I admitted. Feels normal, healthy. I missed this. Good, he said, nodding. That's real life, not her drama. At lunch, Mia smiled at me. You're grounded now. Different energy. It's nice. I nodded. I realized I was giving her power over my feelings. Now I control them. It's freeing, she repeated, testing the word. Yes, I said. I can feel things without letting them destroy me. Happiness, sadness. Even noticing calm doesn't affect me. I just observe. That evening, I ran into a coworker I hadn't talked to in months. Daniel. He exclaimed. You're looking sharp, focused. Something changed. I smiled faintly. I decided to take back control of my life. It's working. Good, he said. It shows. Walking home, I thought about Elina. Her lies, her mockery, her manipulation. People were distancing, doors closing, subtle but real. And yet, I felt no joy in her downfall. No gloating, I muttered to myself. She's learning consequences. I don't have to teach her. Life does it. Jason called later that night. You sound steady. Like you finally got off the roller coaster. I think I have, I said. I still remember her, but the feelings are different, observational, analytical. I feel nothing personal anymore. Good, he said. That's progress. I walked into my apartment and opened my journal. Notice, acknowledge, move forward, I wrote. Feelings are my own, not hers. Karma happens. I stay grounded. I reread it, exhaling. I finally understand, I whispered. It's not revenge. It's letting life balance itself while I rebuild. For the first time, I felt the quiet strength of detachment. No obsession. No fixation. Just clarity. A few days later, at a small gathering with friends, I laughed freely. Jason nudged me. Look at you, normal, smiling. I missed this, I admitted. Being part of life again. Not trapped in her chaos. Mia smiled. And you're careful now, smarter, not naive. I nodded. Exactly, careful, not cold. Observing, not manipulated. That's the difference. Liam texted me later. Keep it up. You're doing great. Work, life, balance. Thanks, I replied. Feels good to be me again. I lay in bed that night, thinking about everything, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the humiliation. The feelings were still there, but as a distant observer, I could recognize them, understand them, and decide how they shaped me. I whispered aloud, I feel nothing for her. Not hate, not love, just observation. Life moves on. So do I. The quiet satisfaction of integrity replaced anger. My friendships, work, and personal growth were the true victories. Karma had its way, silently, and I didn't need to intervene. For the first time in months, I felt complete. Strong, steady, and free from the chaos she had once commanded. I was leaving the cafe after grabbing a quick coffee when I saw her Elina, leaning casually against the counter, smiling like she hadn't shattered my world months ago. Daniel, she said, voice light. Fancy seeing you here. I stopped, taking a slow breath. Elina, I said evenly. No tremor, no tight throat, just calm. Her smile faltered slightly, but she recovered instantly. You look different, happier. I could ask you the same, I replied, eyes steady on hers. You seem unchanged. She tilted her head. Unchanged. I've been busy. Life moves on, you know. Right, I said, voice flat. Life moves on. And so do people, including me. Her laugh was light, a little forced. You don't seem bitter. I'm not, I said. I've learned to observe. Emotions don't control me anymore. Her eyes flickered. That's impressive. I didn't think you had it in you. I did, I said calmly. I just had to choose to reclaim my life. She leaned closer. Reclaim or punish? You've changed, Daniel. It's intriguing. I shook my head, smiling faintly. No, not punishment. Just boundaries. Just me, deciding what I accept. Boundaries. She echoed, voice soft but sharp. I thought we'd meant something to each other. I paused, letting the words hang. We did, but I let myself feel too much for someone who didn't care. That's my mistake. Yours is irrelevant now. Her smirk returned, subtle, almost predatory. So you don't feel anything? Not even hurt? I looked her in the eyes. I feel awareness, observation. Nothing personal anymore. You no longer have that power over me. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Power? You think I wanted power over you? You wanted attention, I corrected gently. Manipulation isn't always conscious, but the results are the same. You hurt people. She laughed softly. Hurting people? That's dramatic. Daniel, we were just having fun. Fun? I echoed, incredulous. At my expense? I didn't see it that way, she said quickly. You overreacted. I smiled faintly, calm and measured. I don't overreact anymore. I learn, I observe, and I move forward. Her lips pressed into a thin line. So, what? You're saying you're done? I'm done being naive, I said. Done letting someone else dictate my emotions. Done letting someone's actions define my self-worth. She tilted her head, a flicker of challenge in her eyes. Daniel, you sound so cold, detached. I'm composed, I corrected. Detached implies I'm unaffected. I'm aware, focused, and in control. There's a difference. Her voice softened, a whisper. You've changed so much. I didn't expect this. I did, I said. For me, not for anyone else. That's the difference. She laughed lightly, trying another angle. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should explain. No, I interrupted gently but firmly. There's nothing to explain. You made your choices. I made mine. We've both moved forward. That's enough. She paused, then tried a softer approach. Daniel, I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to, I repeated, calm. But you did, and that's what matters. The intention doesn't erase the result. Her eyes flicked to Jason, who had stepped up beside me silently, watching. Jason nodded once subtly, a small smile on his face. Mia was there too, arms crossed, observing. I caught her eye and gave a faint smile. She seemed relieved, almost proud. Elina's voice turned sharp. So, you're just going to stand there? Say nothing more? I've said everything I need, I replied evenly. Words beyond this won't change the past. Or teach lessons. Observation and action, those are enough. She frowned, a little frustrated. You're so different. I don't know what to do with this version of you. Good, I said softly. Because this version of me exists for me, not for your validation, not for your approval, and certainly not for your manipulation. Her lips pressed together and she looked away briefly, then back. I suppose we can leave it there. Yes, I said, calm and collected. We can leave it there. She gave a small nod and turned, walking away. I watched her go, noting the subtle shifts in her posture, less confidence, slight hesitation, calmer, in small measures, quietly doing its work. Jason clapped me on the shoulder. That was impressive, calm, collected. You owned it without anger. I'm learning, I said, feeling a steady warmth in my chest. Calm beats rage. Awareness beats obsession. Mia smiled at me. And you didn't lose yourself in the process. That's what matters. I nodded. Exactly. Control over my own life. That's my victory. Nothing else counts. Walking away, I felt the weight lift completely. Elina's presence no longer tugged at me. I had learned to observe, to feel nothing personal for someone who once commanded my heart. And in that, I had one. I sat at my apartment window, coffee steaming in my hands, thinking about everything that had happened. The months with Elina, the betrayal, the heartbreak, it all felt distant now. Like a storm I had weathered. Jason's voice buzzed on my phone. You okay, man? Haven't heard from you in a while. I'm okay, I said, calm. Really? Just reflecting. Reflecting, huh? Sounds deep. I chuckled softly. I've learned a lot. About trust, about myself, about giving my heart too freely. You sound different. Stronger, he said. I am, I admitted. I won't let someone else control my emotions again. That's the biggest lesson. Mia called right after. Daniel, you sound peaceful. Happy, even I've found balance, I said. I still remember everything, but the feelings are quiet, observational. I've stopped letting the past dictate my present. That's maturity, she said softly. I'm proud of you. Thanks, I replied. Her words warmed me more than I expected. Liam texted later. You've really turned things around. I see it in your work, your energy. Keep it up. Thanks, Liam. Feels good to be focused on what matters. I typed back. I leaned back. Thinking about Elina, she faded from my life gradually, as all things unhealthy do. No dramatic confrontations, no gloating. Just silence. And yet, I observed the lessons she left behind. Jason had messaged jokingly. Are you ever going to get another heartbreak? I smiled. I'll be cautious, but I won't stop trusting. Just wiser about who I give my heart to. Mia's text arrived almost immediately. Emotional openness isn't weakness, Daniel. You proved that. Misplaced trust is the danger. Exactly, I replied. I can feel, deeply. I just know now where to place that trust. That night, I wrote in my journal, I survived heartbreak. I learned, I grew. I reclaimed control over my life and my emotions. I am stronger, wiser, and ready for what comes next. I whispered aloud, I feel peace. I feel strength. I feel victory, silent but complete. Jason stopped by the next morning, carrying coffee. You're glowing, man. Not flashy, just steady. That's the goal, I said, smiling faintly. Steady, calm, aware. No more highs and lows dictated by someone else. He nodded, thoughtful. I guess the quiet victories feel better than the loud ones, huh? They do, I said. No drama. Just life, moving forward. I won't need revenge. Karma handled her. My part was growing stronger. Mia arrived soon after, joining us with a bright smile. You've really changed, Daniel. But in a good way. Not hardened. Just balanced. Balanced, I repeated. That's exactly it. I can feel. I can trust. I can live. Without letting anyone hurt me again. Jason leaned back. It's strange, isn't it? The person who hurt you the most ends up teaching you the most. I nodded. It is. And I've learned to observe without pain. I've learned to feel nothing personal for someone who once controlled my heart. That's true freedom. Liam stopped by later, dropping by with a stack of work files. You're focused like I've never seen. Feels like you've reclaimed everything you lost. Yeah, I admitted, smiling faintly. I've reclaimed my life, my time, my mind. That's what matters. That evening, I walked through the park, watching the city lights reflect on the lake. Everything felt right, quiet, peaceful. I remembered the heartbreak, the humiliation, the sleepless nights, but now, they were tools, guiding me, not chains holding me down. I whispered to myself, I feel nothing for her. Not hate, not longing. Just awareness, just lessons, just growth. Jason called again, jokingly, still thinking about her. Not really, I said, smiling. Thinking about myself. That's all that matters now. Mia texted. Promise me you'll keep this balance. You've come so far. I promise, I replied. As I reached my apartment, I paused, looking at the night sky. Stars scattered across the darkness, constant and steady. I felt like them, calm, resilient, shining quietly. I opened my journal one last time before bed. Emotional openness is strength. Misdirected trust is a lesson. Heartbreak is a teacher. Peace is earned, not given. I am whole. I closed it and whispered, I am whole. For the first time in months, sleep came easy. No nightmares, no obsession, no echoes of past pain. Just peace, strength, and quiet triumph of victory I had earned through endurance, and the courage to reclaim my life. I walked into the small gallery downtown, sunlight spilling over the paintings. Liam was there, grinning as always. Daniel. You're early, he said. Trying something new, I replied, smiling faintly. Feels good to actually show up on time. He nodded. You've changed, man. It's noticeable. I guess I have, I said. I don't feel the weight I used to. Not from her, not from anything. Jason called a few minutes later. How's the gallery? Peaceful, I said. I'm enjoying it without distractions. Good, he said. Sounds like you finally learned to feel without fear. I laughed softly. Exactly. I can enjoy life, notice people, appreciate things, without letting the past control me. A young woman smiled at me from across the room. Hi, I love your jacket, she said. Thanks, I replied, genuinely. I like yours too. The color's great, Jason nudged me, whispering, see? Small connections. That's what matters. I nodded. They're genuine, no manipulation, no games. Just interaction. Later, I met Mia for coffee. You look content, she said. Finally, I admitted. I still remember what happened. I remember the pain, the betrayal, but it doesn't define me anymore. Good, she said. That's what matters. Growth, not revenge. I smiled faintly. Revenge was never the point. The point was reclaiming myself, my emotions, learning to trust, but wisely. That's maturity, she said. Not everyone gets there. I laughed softly. I didn't either, at first, but I realized my life is mine, my feelings are mine, and I decide who deserves them. Jason joined us, holding 2 coffees. So, you're officially back? He asked, teasing. I think so, I said, taking a sip. And it feels good, balanced, free. You've got this, he said, smiling. I can see it in the way you carry yourself. I feel it, I admitted. It's subtle, but real. Not dramatic or forced, just natural. Walking home later, I noticed small victories. A neighbor smiling. Someone holding the door. Liam's message about my project getting approved. All small, yet significant. I whispered to myself, these little things. They're mine. Not defined by betrayal. Not tied to anyone's manipulation. At the park, I saw a couple laughing on a bench. I smiled softly, remembering how I used to envy such moments. Jason called again. Thinking about the past? Not really, I said. I remember it, but it doesn't control me. I can observe without feeling trapped. That's progress, he said. That's freedom. I sat on the grass, breathing in the evening air. Freedom, I whispered. I've learned to feel, but selectively. To care, but not blindly. To trust, but not recklessly. Mia texted later, don't forget to enjoy the present. You've earned it. I know, I replied. I feel it every day. I thought about Elina once, briefly, as a shadow of a memory. The anger, the pain, all replaced with understanding. Observation, not obsession. Lessons, not bitterness. I whispered to myself. The story was never about her. It was about me. Reclaiming myself. Learning to feel on my own terms. A soft breeze rustled the trees. I closed my eyes, letting the quiet settle over me. Life was full of small joys, small connections, small victories. None of them depended on the past, on betrayal, or on anyone else. Jason's voice echoed in my mind. Learn to feel wisely. I smiled. I'm still learning, still growing, but I'm free, and that's enough. The city lights blinked on as dusk fell. I walked forward, steady and aware, carrying the lessons of the past, but no longer burdened by them. I had reclaimed my life, my trust, my peace, and I knew without doubt that the best was yet to come.